Peanuts movie. Never have I seen a Blue Sky film get this much attention and anticipation. Probably because this is not another Ice Age film. Although I wouldn't consider myself a huge Charlie Brown fan, since I haven't read the comics and I've only seen a few TV specials, I do get the popularity of the franchise thanks to its simplistic charm. Even to this day, the characters have become a holiday tradition for many for their sincere specials like It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown and A Charlie Brown Christmas. But back onto Charlie Brown's first major motion picture, will this be the kind of film that even Charles Schulz himself would be proud of? Or will audiences learn how to say good grief after watching this? Let's find out! The story. After witnessing plenty of movies that feature epic adventures with magic and mythical beings and all sorts of crazy ideas, it's nice for once to just relax and take a moment to watch something simple. The greatest thing about this movie is how amazingly well that it captures the spirit of Charlie Brown. Not really going up and beyond to be creative with the writing, but to present those little moments in life that do feel like personal accomplishments. From completing a big homework to doing extremely well on a test to just impressing a girl. They may not sound like much, but the movie shows the struggles and what they mean to Charlie Brown, where they now become an important and such an engaging part of the story. Also, the movie manages to fill in tons of references to previous Charlie Brown works. Of course, some are pretty obvious, but there are also some that can be very subtle that only true Peanuts fans would understand. Heck, they might enjoy pointing out all the references more than the film itself.
Maybe he will appreciate my natural beauty.
I just hope he'll have an open mind about the Great Pumpkin.
I think they have a toaster!
However, despite staying very true to the original source material, there are some elements that don't work for a feature film. The plot itself, while executed very nicely, is very predictable, mostly by how it goes through plenty of cliches. That, and there is one question I have with Snoopy's portion of the film. I understand the whole Red Baron thing, and the way it's done here gives the movie some good intensity and comedy, but seriously, what does it have to do with the movie itself? What does Snoopy's story about fighting the Red Baron have to do with Charlie Brown, or how will it help him? It's some nice and enjoyable filler, but it's still filler. The story is a lot like Charlie Brown himself. It really seems a bit clumsy, but it does have a lot of heart. The animation. I cannot say that the animation is creative here. Far from it. It has reached the levels of innovation. The people at Blue Sky did such a phenomenal job of taking the simple drawing style of Charles Schulz and the Peanuts TV specials and adapting it into computer animation. Starting with the design of the characters, it is absolutely genius how not only it keeps the simple look, but also keep it 2D. Let's face it, if it were done like any other computer animated film and show them in all different angles, it would have looked like garbage. But keeping them looking flat is such a fantastic way to work around it. I would love to see more animated films have this 2.5D look to them. In fact, it would have helped a lot of other films to improve their style. The only aspect that it came from the computer is for the textures and the lighting. Maybe this movie would have gone without some of the textures like Snoopy's realistic fur or the fabric on the shirts, but the lighting does give a fresh look to them. As for the character animation, it really stays true to how it was done in the old TV specials, down to sometimes having less frames per second and even imitating some iconic scenes. Another unique element done in this movie is the heavy use of black lines. They're often made as effects to give the movie an homage to their comic strip origins and include some hand-drawn moments where we get into the mind of Charlie Brown. If there is one thing that could have been improved on, is trying to mix the 2D elements with the 3D. In scenes like Snoopy's adventures against the Red Baron, there's something that feels a bit off from seeing those 2D characters in a 3D environment, especially when they go flying around. Maybe if they toned down a bit of the 3D around Snoopy, it would have probably worked better. But other than that, the animation may look simple, but the work done to make it look simple is just amazing. The characters. If there is one important job that the movie has to accomplish, it's to get the characters right. And luckily, it certainly did. Starting off with Charlie Brown, he's more of the trope of the down-on-his-luck guy who can't seem to get things right. But what really makes him a great character is his sincerity and honesty. You can tell he's a good guy, yet you do have some sympathy for him that he can't seem to catch a break.
He did it!
As for his dog Snoopy, his mind can often wander when he's writing his story, but he's such a loyal friend to Charlie Brown and would often go to the next level to help him out, resulting in many of the film's great comedic moments. As for everyone else, since there are so many to count, they really encompass the true nature and personalities of these characters. From the helpful pal Linus, to the obnoxiously loud Lucy, the tomboy Peppermint Patty, the intelligent Marcy, the dirty Pigpen, the sweet and crazy Sally, the elegant Schroeder, Snoopy's sidekick Woodstock, the list goes on. Each of them giving their contribution to the film and give a hand to Charlie Brown whenever they can. The only character that isn't all that great here is the little red-haired girl. Not only she doesn't have a name, but she doesn't have any personality to the point that she feels more like a plot element to give Charlie Brown motivation more than an actual character. The one additional note I have to add is that almost all the characters are actually voiced by kids. The only adults who lend their voice are Kristen Chenoweth as Fifi, Trombone Shorty playing any adult, and archive recordings of Bill Melendez as Snoopy and Woodstock. With that said, the acting from the cast is extremely well done. You wouldn't expect at their age to simultaneously deliver such a performance and successfully capture who these characters are. Even if they're computer animated, the characters are still as lovable as how they were decades ago. The Peanuts movie is a fantastic example to show that you don't have to go big in order to achieve greatness. It might have a few issues with the writing, resulting in a rather clumsy story, but thanks to its cast of memorable characters and innovative animation, the movie has truly captured what makes the works of Charles Schulz so timeless and wholesome. This is an absolute must-watch for Charlie Brown fans, but even non-fans can find some appreciation for it. So this is a high recommendation if you want something that's more calm and charming. Also, before the movie began, Blue Sky presented an animated short called Cosmic Scrat-tastrophe, which is another cartoon that features Scrat from Ice Age. I'll admit that it is funny as it is ridiculous, but I feel like it serves as a grim reminder that the studio won't let Ice Age die. Seriously, Blue Sky, can we just settle for this instead of having another movie? Please? I don't want to know what dumb shenanigans Sid is up to. All I ask is just more of this, and a lot less of this.
Wugga, 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 wugga. Booda, 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 booda.